The Cornell Big Red hosts the Princeton Tigers. It's the 85th all-time meeting. Hi, everyone. Barry Leonard along with Howie Borkin awaiting the face-off. Cornell and Princeton. The Ivy League regular season on the line. These two clubs already have advanced to next weekend's Ivy League tournament, Howie.
Both teams having a great season. And Jack Cascadden, his son, wins the opening face-off.
Cornell had come in at just a 50% clip, but Cascadden close to 60%. Here's Gavin Adler, the first-team All-American defenseman, taking a quick shot. And Princeton, who leads the conference in saves, made the save. A scrum for the loose ball near side of the field. Possession Cornell. Howie, we're going to treat our viewers tonight to two of the top attackmen in the country. Aiden Blake to the second-line midfield and brought up Ryan Sheehan. Face-off win for the Tigers. Shot goes wide of the goal. Andrew Mcmeekin, reigning Ivyman over the years, used the question mark dodge or shot. Among them, Rob Pinnell, Matty Donovan, among many.
Yes.
For Michael Long, his 56th career goal, point number 103. Face-off battle on the X, won by the freshman Jack Cascadden. I was told by Princeton's athletic communications department, Mcmeekin and Cascadden will be a battle within the game on the X. And here is a missed shot. The number 6 ranked Cornell Big Red with an early 3-0 lead. Howie, they're off to a great start, and Hugh Kelleher got the last goal for the Big Red.
Cornell leading 3-0, and Cornell's Jack Cascadden at the face-off X against Andrew Mcmeekin.
Battle of sumo-type size players, we were told, and the ground ball battle is won by Princeton. They had come in -10 in terms of the head-to-head ground ball comparison for each. Keeps his point streak going. Kirsch now with 1 or more points in 32 consecutive games for Cornell, and we have our first violation of the contest against Princeton.
On the clam,
Cornell,
Jack Cascadden, the ball caught in the back of his stick, and that's a violation, so Princeton will get the ball.
They will sub through the midfield, Howie. John Dunphy, second-line midfielder, a freshman from Ridgewood, New Jersey, will get credit for the goal. That's his third in a Princeton uniform. Staub lost the ball out of a check. Singer for Cornell going for it, but the ground ball picked up by the Fogo, Cascadden.
Yeah, Jack Cascadden and Brendan Staub played together last year at Garden City, and they just seem to communicate so well together.
Mark Silos, who plays wings on Cornell, some quick stats.
Goals, Cornell 4, 3 assists, 10 shots to Princeton's 14. Shots on goal, Cornell had 7. Princeton had 8.
Mcmeekin with the face-off win for the Tigers, but the pass is shaved out of bounds, closer to the shot. 5-1 score of the home club off the ground ball battle. Silos overruns it. Tries to come back. Wallace in the fray, but it got pushed over to Billy Coyle. Coyle's been all over the field. Here's Walker. Wallace puts it in. The big boy. Lighting the lamp. I spoke to his father, who's in town for the game last night. He said when he got a clean look at the goal, his eyes get wide, and Walker Wallace with his second goal of the season.
Princeton lost track of Walker Wallace. What happened was Mark Silos did a tremendous flip. He just flipped the ball that was on the ground to Billy Coyle. The Princeton defense had all come to the ground ball. Walker Wallace snuck in behind everybody, and it was one-on-one with the goalie, and Walker Wallace, his second goal of the season.
Big Walker officially measured now at 6'7", and he says he gets all his athleticism from his mother, who was an All-American track runner at the University of Virginia.
And beat Chase Erlin over his shoulder.
Mcmeekin on the X, this time with Cascadden. Ground ball battle, gobbled up by Gavin Adler. Back to Chase Erlin. Throw the clearing pass to the wingman, Mark Silos, who's part.
And they need to possess the ball for a little while.
This is a Tiger club that has won 4 of its last 5 games. The 4 wins coming in Ivy League play. The lone loss to Syracuse.
It's going to be procedure against Princeton. It'll be Cornell ball. Mcmeekin jump before the whistle. That's their first violation of the half, Barry.
Approaching 7 minutes to play, and Cornell going back to their second-line midfield. His 32nd consecutive game with 1 or more points. Leads Division I just under 5 goals a game entering this afternoon. And off the face-off, they check Mcmeekin away, and Cascadden comes up with the ball for the Big Red. Physicality.
Tight battle throughout.
I mean, their offense #1 in shots, assists, and points per game. So they can score the lacrosse ball, as can the Big Red and Mcmeekin, with another win on the Faceoff X for the visitors. Stevens waiting patiently as Cornell's got their short stick, Kyle Smith, #6, stuck on the field. They've also got their Fogo Cascadden stuck. As Stevens, diminutive at 5'9", but so quick, can shoot with both hands. Just a terrific anchor for your second line midfield.
And they've got the matchup. Princeton has the matchup they want. They want to go against Jack Cascadden.
Slusher. Winding up. Goal for Christian Ronda, the senior from Greenwich, Connecticut. So the Tigers putting a bit of a mini run together. Back-to-back scores to cut it to a 7-5 Cornell lead. Let's watch the extra pass.
Well, what happens is he's wide open because there was confusion with the Cornell defense because Jack Cascadden, unfortunately for the Big Red, got stuck on the field. Nobody knew who was supposed to rotate to Ronda. Ronda's all alone, and you give him that much time and space, he's going to bury it, and he did.
Ronda from Stanet, Howie, with 4:31 in the half, and just like that, a 2-goal Big Red advantage. Angelo Petrakis for the Big Red. Senior from Massapequa Park on Long Island, winning a crucial face-off as Mark Silos, who was looking to make a pass, the Cornell player fell down, and a save for Gian Fricaro, who cleared the ball for Princeton, Howie.
It's unfortunate. Silos had a good idea.
Yep, here's Darrow, second assisted goal in the run for Lucas Stanet. Critical face-off battle won by Cornell's Petrakis. Staub couldn't come up with the ground ball, although he might have gotten hit. And Princeton, with Stevens, will settle it down as the Tigers look for the equalizer. With under 2 minutes to play in our opening half here in Ithaca. Again, this is for the regular season Ivy League Championship. Shot save Erlin as Sean Campbell assists for Jake Stevens.
Yep.
He has been the conduit in this run for Princeton to tie this game. Vardaro and Stevens, you're all Ivy caliber performers. Coming up big for Princeton, and another face-off win for Cornell's Angelo Petrakis and the Big Red. You can't run them over to the second half, so the Big Red take a timeout. We're down to exactly 60 seconds in the half, so Cornell in effect can hold.
Yeah, one of the things that makes Cornell lacrosse so special is the late Richie Moran, and today a lot of his players were back, and I know that many of his players were watching the ceremony and dedication on Facebook. I know, and it's a credit to Richie. Guys like Chris Kane down in Florida, the group of the class of '78, watching because
I don't want to dismiss this, Howie, because there's more to talk about. So we'll continue on the Richie Moran tribute a little. He's giving Cornell their first lead of the second half. But how about Princeton goaltender Michael Gianfrancaro? Only 8 saves on the day, but they've all been pretty close to spectacular. As a critical face-off win off the wing play for Cornell, but back to Gianfrancaro. 8 saves on the day as they feed it left of the door.
Second quarter, and it wasn't until later in the quarter that they started to get the shots inside.
Battle off the X. Mcmeekin vacuums up the ground ball off to Billings, and Princeton, 1 looks to clear the ball. Number 2 looks to stop the run. 2-0 run for Cornell here in the third quarter. They open the game on a 4-0 run, and the ball is dislodged by Mark.
Prevent this man from getting off that good shot, so Princeton pulls back within 1 goal.
Princeton goal scored by number 29, Lucas
My
Stanet.
correction. I had the 1 instead of the 2. Lucas Stanet, with his second goal of the day, breaks the 2-0 Cornell run as Charlie Box off the wing wins the critical face-off.
For Cornell's 10th
He
goal
was
of the day.
draped all over by Michael Bath, their outstanding backup long pole. And now back to the face-off X for the first time in this third quarter, or quite some time. Jack Cascadden on the X for Cornell against Mcmeekin.
And the ground ball is picked up by Jason Singer.
Cornell dominated that statistic in the first half, but there's going to be a failed clear as Cascadden couldn't track down the errant pass by Chase Erlin.
And Princeton using the subbing game here. They're going to try to get a break. But Vidaro's going to pull it out. And Princeton's going to reset.
Back to their first line midfield, Ronda, Vardaro, and Cameron.
Again.
Stanet from Brighton, New York, which is a suburb of Rochester. Don't know how he got out of the state. Kid is a big player, and a big ground ball pickup for Jack Follows of Cornell off the extended wing play. Scramble situation. Here comes Petrakis for Cornell. Catching.
Especially the Cornell Lacrosse program is, through the years, because of Richie creating a familial atmosphere unmatched anywhere.
You talk about two fierce lions, Bill Turney of Princeton and Richie Moran of Cornell. They had great battles with their teams over the years. Successful wing play for Cornell. They will start the fourth quarter with possession.
With a 2-goal lead, just 56 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
Things are all relative speaking when it comes to defense and offensive players, as Mcmeekin won the faceoff. The Princeton Tigers will look to reset. I said Billings was playing him, gone above their average with 10 goals for Princeton. Two evenly paid lacrosse teams right now, as Petrakis won the face-off, threw it back to Singer. He gets double teamed, knocked into the Princeton sideline, and possession to go back to Princeton. The Tigers the aggressor off the wing play.
It's here in the fourth quarter.
No question.
Chase Erlin's playing well, but Jim Ficaro has made one spectacular save after another, and Princeton, for the second time today, has come back and tied the game 11-11. Earlier, they had tied it 7-7.
Mcmeekin on the X with Cascadden. Losing a stick. Scrum is on. Gavin Adler, check from behind, gets it back up. What a play by the All-American. He will charge down the middle of the field, send it left side to Coyle. Shot got blocked. Dive into the end zone. Who was closer to the shot? Was it the goaltender?
Princeton.
Yes.
Yeah, Princeton was close.
Christian Ronda's second goal of the day, his 18th of the season. 7:05 into our fourth quarter. He's given Princeton their first lead of the game. It's a 3-goal run for the Tigers, and Angelo Petrakis wins the faceoff for the Big Red.
Big faceoff win. Billy Coyle, the point man this time, didn't shoot. Decided to pull the ball out and let Cornell set up its offense.
It's been a very balanced Princeton attack when you consider.
In that situation for Cornell, just like a moment ago for Princeton on Ronda's shot, able to beat the man down the alley and beat the goalie.
And beating the man on the faceoff, Mcmeekin, was Cornell's Angelo Petrakis. This senior from Massapequa Park on Long Island has found something, bit of a weakness in Mcmeekin's faceoff on the X.
Well, for years I've always been surprised when second half. Now Princeton, with the 13-12 lead, has outscored Cornell 6-5 here in the second half.
Vardaro went 2-2 against Cornell last year in Princeton. His hat trick as a sophomore. For the fourth time today, we are tied at 13. The heavyweight bout continues. Mcmeekin on the bounce. Staub trying to go for it. Follows trying to go for it. Petrakis gets hit, knocked out of bounds. The ground ball play continues. Ferocious play at the center of the field. Follows to come up with the ground ball for Cornell. Off to Billy Coyle. Red Ave possession. Under a minute to go.
And 75 seconds on the shot clock,
so they can
Cornell hold for a last shot.
Let's see with Princeton.
Right, and well, Princeton has shot very well. They've got 13 goals on 25 shots. Cornell's got 13 goals on 27 shots. But Cornell had the 15 turnovers, and we've talked about that. Cornell a little sloppy today, sloppier than they normally are. And that sloppiness has cost them some turnovers, which provided Princeton with some breaks, and Princeton used those breaks with the matchups to score on transition.
The dance partners on the X, Mcmeekin for Princeton, Petrakis for Cornell. Ball goes out. It's going to be Big Red possession.
Petrakis lost his stick.
In the opening seconds of overtime.
He lost his stick. Mcmeekin didn't realize it, and he swung at the ball and knocked the ball out over the sideline, so Cornell gets possession.
Sudden death overtime for this Ivy League regular season championship.